Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Janmadyasya yatonmayadidaradasya Arteshva vidyaswarat Tene brahma hridaya adigavaye muhyanti yatsuraya Tejo varimradam yatha vinivayo yatra trisargo visham Dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhakam satyam param dhimahi Tasmai yena vibhasito yamadulo jnana pradipah pura Tadrupena janaradaya munaye krishnaya tadrupinam Yogindraya tadatmanada bhagavatradaya karunyataha Tatshuddham vivalam vishokam amritam satyam param dhimahi Dharmah projita kaitamotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam Vastavapatra vastu shivatam tapatrayonmolanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahapunitade Kimbavaraihi Ishvara Satyo Hrityavaru Bhagavata Dharma. They are the teachers here. And the king is also, the Prichaka is also a great sage. Is Videha. So it is just like two Jnanis are speaking, but here on one side there are 9 of them, on the other side it is Janaka who is asking. Dharman Bhagavatan Bruta. Speak about Bhagavata Dharma. How to be free of samsara dukkha. This is the question. Of course, we all have heard samsara dukkha. And what is samsara dukkha? It is the misery of ajnana, avidya. And the sign of it is fear. So, naturally the question comes, what happens when one attains jnanam? When one attains jnanam, true knowledge, the sure sign is abhayam, fearlessness. Bhakti also is same. So the Kavi, the Yogeshwara is saying, fear from no direction. From all directions he is fearless. Who? One who surrenders to Bhagavan. Manye agutaschid bhayam achyutasya padambujopasanam atra nityam. When you have that padambuja upasanam, that upasana is, you can say meditation, you can say spiritual practice in any form. We are all here only to do that. Some kind of sadhana is needed. And if you are holding on to his feet by whatever means, ena kenapi upayena manaha krishne niveshayet. This is Bhagavata. Bhagavata says by whatever means, you keep your mind in Krishna. You keep your mind in Bhagavan. Some upaya. You may chant his nama, you may study Bhagavata, you can meditate in solitude, or sit in the presence of saints who are ever in that state of samadhi. By whatever means, if you can lift your mind from these worldly troubles and keep it in a higher plane, that is upasana. Upa means samipe, very near, intimate. Asana means sitting. Upanishad also is same. It means sitting very near whom? Near Bhagavan, near your own self. The mind is always wandering out. You catch hold of it, bring it back, turn it inward, and make it abide in Swarupa, in the real nature. Yato yato nisharati manas chanjalam astiram. The manas is chanjalam astiram. Chanjalam is fickle, astiram is unsteady. Tatastato niyamyai tad atmanyeva vasham nayet. Wherever it goes from all that, make it return, bring it back, and make it sit in the self, abide in the self. Swarupe avasthanam. And if you can do that, that is upasanam, upa-asanam. Upa also means in a perfect way, asanam is sitting. Sitting where? Sitting in one's own heart, self. Manye agutaschid bhayam achyutasya padam bujopasanam atra nityam udvigna buddhehe. Buddhi is udvigna, it is agitated. Why the buddhi is agitated? Why the intellect is agitated? Because of ignorance. It thinks that the world is there real and something is good, something is bad. So I want that good thing, I don't want that bad thing. Shankaracharya in his Brahma Sutra Bhashya says, the entire worldly life can be defined in a simple example. If you take a stick in your hand, a dog or cow will run away from you. If you take some eatable and call it, it will come towards you. Dandodyatakaram upalakshya tatah palayitum arabhante. Haritatrina purna panim upalakshya tad abhimukhi bhavati. Anukulam prati pravartate pratikulaati nivartate. If it is anukulam, very comfortable, very pleasing, you go there. If it is not comfortable, you go away from there. And the fun that is happening in our life is, whatever we don't want, it wants us. So it is constantly chasing you. Whatever you want, it runs away from you. You are chasing it. So this is life. So, when you don't want anything, see, simple way to attain jnanam is, the Upanishad says, yada sarve pramuchyante kamayesya hridishritaha athamartyo amrto bhavati atra brahma samashrute. When all the desires are given up, if you can do that, you need not do meditation, any sadhana, yoga, nothing. You simply say, I don't have any desire. Buddha, after so much tapas, he found out only that. He said, this is the problem. Ashahi paramam dukkham. So I don't have any desire. You are free. You are a jivan mukta, liberated being. Ashaya badhyate jantuhu. You have desire, you are bound. You become slave to somebody, something, some object, some emotion. So the buddhi is udvigna because it wants something. The desire is there, attachment is there, aversion is there. And the cause for that udvega is ignorance, asadatma bhava. This shloka is very, very impressed. Asadatma bhava means, I consider that I am this body. All of you have, many of you have at least learnt Narayaniyam. I know, very Narayaniyam, many Narayaniyam faces are there in front of me. And Narayaniyam is so famous because Narayana Bhattadari is very often praying to Guruvayurappan to make him free of disease, this physical trouble. And we feel that is very good because that is the trouble that we also want to be free of. So we say, Guruvayurappa, protect me from this disease. But at last Bhattadari says, this body itself is a disease, Bhagavan. This identification with this body is the sole cause for all problems. So release me from that bondage. And that verse is very powerful. There he says, as if he feels very bad about praying to Bhagavan for the sake of body. So he uses a very powerful expression there. He says, he me deha moham. That he is meaningless. It means, he me deha moham tyaja pavana puradhisha yat prema hetoho gehe vitte kalatradishu cha vivashitaha Tvatpadam vismaranti. Because of this delusion towards this body, Bhagavan, I am forgetting you. You are my real self. You are within me as my real self. I am forgetting you, considering this body as me. And whatever is attached to the body, I am considering as mine. So the basic error is to consider the body as me, that is asad atma bhava. We are doing upasana of this body. Entire life is a body upasana. So when you start your spiritual life, when you start studying Bhagavatam, when you sit under the master Acharya, he tells you that you are not the body. You are not this shariram. That itself is a great explosion. Or bomb vekkira madri. The first insight is, I am not the body. Otherwise, you meditate on yourself means you will go and sit in front of a mirror and see what is there in the mirror and meditate. You understand that what is seen in the mirror, this body, is not me. Deho naham. The body is not me. The body never belongs to me. It belongs to nature. It belongs to Prakriti. Because I consider the body as me, the problems that come to the body I superimpose on me. That superimposition is the word that they use for adhyasa. I superimpose the body on me and suffer. Something happens to the body, I am in trouble. Something happens to someone whom I consider mine, I suffer. See, the sorrow has really no connection with what happens. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi gives an example of an story, an anecdote. The two brahmacharis from Karnataka or Tamil Nadu, they went to Kashi. There they were studying Vedas. After a few years, one of them had some serious disease and he died. This is about centuries back. And in those days, someone will walk from Kashi to south. So they will convey the message through them. So somebody was coming down south. To them, this brahmachari told, this is the village from where we are coming in Tamil Nadu. You go and tell my parents that I am very happy. I am even married, I have a family. Convey this to them. I will come when it is possible for me to come. But the brahmachari who came with me, he died. This you have to convey to their family. So they said okay, they were walking all the way, months and months. After that they reached Tamil Nadu, somewhere in a village. By the time they reached, this got confused. The house where they have to say that your son is keeping well, very happy, married, you have grandchildren, all those things. There they went and conveyed your son died. Another place where they have to convey the death news, they told this story, that your family, children are very happy. Now the result is, those who should cry, they were celebrating. They have invited all the village people and giving food, samaradhana. The other family who have to celebrate, they were crying. So the incident has no connection with the emotion. The moment you consider somebody who is connected to me, they are mine, and you become happy or you suffer. So this is udvega. Udvega means agitation. The cause for agitation is you take something and put it on you and suffer. The moment you live, and how do you put it on you? By considering I and mine. This body is I, and whomever who are related to me, they are all mine. And their trouble, their problem is my problem. It looks like a very perfect science. Adhyasa, what they call. Because of that you suffer. Because of that the buddhi is agitated. Now you know that you are not this body and nothing belongs to you. With this knowledge you can live in a family, no problem. You can live very calmly if you have this knowledge perfectly. No problem. Nothing will affect. There were people who lived like that. You can live and remain unaffected because you know the reality that the world is not real. And the thing that is outside will not have any impact on you. Even your own body or mind has no impact on you, because you have discerned, separated the self from the non-self. You have separated, segregated the I, the feeling of I, from the body, the mind, everything. Just like one does churning of butter. Like that, you have done that inner churning and you have caught hold of that current within you, which is always felt. The only thing which you always feel is this current of I. It is same. The body undergoes change, the mind undergoes change. But the current of I remains changeless behind all these changeful things, events, emotions, everything. Childhood, youth, old age, everything comes. Waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. Behind everything there is this existence, the essence of I. And when you know that I, and what is that I? It is Shuddha Bodha Swabhavaha. It is pure consciousness, Chaitanya. And the moment you know the self, you attain that fearlessness, freedom from fear, because you know that you are deathless. You are birthless. Actually, this is not a new knowledge. Already all of you know that. I will ask one question. Do any one of you remember your birth? I have never come across anyone who remembers his birth. such an event of happening. Suddenly I come to this world. Without being present, I suddenly appear. Do anyone remember his birth? Then how come you celebrate happy birthday? Somebody told, somebody bluffed. Mostly your parents, they taught you this bluff that you were born on such and such a date. Why did I take birth on that day? Because we decided. The astrologer told, bring it out in this nakshatra. That is what people are doing now. But before that you were inside the womb in the same form. So even outwardly there is no birth. It is just like coming out of a bag. And inside I was present. Then when was I born? It is not possible. Existence can never happen. Na abhavo vidyate sataha. The sat can never disappear. It is sat. It is existence. Puriyardo? Not difficult. Very simple. It's very, very, very simple. If I am able to understand it, it should be very simple. I found mathematics difficult, physics difficult, chemistry difficult, computer zero. Only few years back I could know what is computer and what is a washing machine. So if I can understand this, it is very simple, it should be simple. It must be simple. It is utterly simple. Because Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said, Aye ati sulabham Atma Vidyaya ati sulabham. This Atma Vidya is so utterly simple. And in Bhagavatam, Prahlada told that it is very simple. Prahlada said, Nahi achyutam prinayato bahu ayaso asuratmajaha. He is telling all the asura friends, see, this knowledge of the self is, there is no ayasa, no struggle. Why no struggle? Atmatvat sarvabhutanam. Bhagavan has already happened to you as your own self, as the Atman. Siddhatvadiha sarvataha, ever attained. No difficulty. It is the most simplest thing. You have to just nothing. You have to just know this simple secret of abiding in yourself. There was one teacher of Bhagavad Gita, Eknath Ishwaran, very well-known teacher. If you read his book, you will read it as Eknath Ishwaran, but he is Ekanath Ishwaran. Ekanath is the house name. So he is a very good teacher. In one of his books, he says, when they were all doing editing work of a book, one of the child in their ashram, the child wanted to sit in the lap of someone. So first it came to him, he said, I am very busy. Then it went to somebody else. They also said, we are busy. And everyone refused to keep it in their lap. So the child said, what to do? Now I have to sit in my own lap. When I heard this story, he was giving the example, it is like sitting on your own lap. You cannot sit. Like that, abiding in the self, Atmanishtha, we say, but how to abide in yourself? You have to just know the self. You have to just look at your own inner beingness, the I am within you, the aham within you. It is always felt. கண்ணெல்லாம் மூடினா அப்படியே தெரியறது உள்ள பிரகாசிச்சுட்டு தான் இருக்கு. It is Swayam Prakasha, self-effulgent. So the moment your intellect is turned towards that Sachidananda Vastu, Sat means existence, Chit means light, shining forth. Ananda means peace. Once your attention is turned towards that, you are certain, there is certitude only there. When you hold that, there is no more spiritual fall, no more coming or going. Then this asadatma bhava is removed. No more I consider the body or mind as myself. And you know the entire Vishwam, the universe, the world, as nothing but a superimposition on the self. Then fear is removed. So this is the essence. So the king asked, O Lord, how to attain that knowledge? Even if you speak about it as so simple, how to turn the mind inward, antarmukha samaradhya, bahirmukha sudurlabha. Every day many devotees are chanting this line, Lalita Sahasranama. The Devi is available for whose mind is introverted, antarmukha. And if it is bahirmukha, sudurlabha, very difficult to get. So how to make the mind antarmukha? Even for an ordinary person, avidusham, pumsam, not a very learned person, he should be able to do that. What is that? Yanastha yanaro rajan na pramadyeta karhichit dhavan nimilyavanetreena skalet napatediha. This Kavi, the Yogeshwara, says, if you follow this Bhagavata Dharma, when you do Upasana of Bhagavan, surrender to Bhagavan, such freedom is there in your life that you can run closing your eyes. You will not fall. That means what? Whatever may be your prarabdha, you go and do. Nothing will affect you because He is holding you. Dhavan nimilya means with closed eyes. Naskalet, skalana means a slip. Na pated, no fall. No slip, no fall. It is a guarantee. So Bhagavan says, you can go and do your prarabdha, you will not be affected. You surrender your body and mind to Bhagavan, now you are free. See, this body and mind is the problem. You hand it over to Bhagavan, now you are free. Bhagavan Ramana said, when you took over my body and mind, all my problems were gone. Annamalai adiyenai anda andre avi udal kondai. You took over the body and mind. Enakku or kurai undo, all my kurai, all my flaws were all gone. Because all the flaws remain in the body and mind. That is why in deep sleep, when there is no body or mind, no problem. The moment you enter the deep sleep state, no world, no body, no mind, no karma, no thoughts, no ego, I, and you wake up and say, Sukhamaham aswapsam, very happy. The moment the mind arises, every problem arises. But how to live in the world without active mind? You cannot keep the mind in meditation and work in an IT company. You can do it. One day they will say, better you do it in your home itself. Anyway, many of you are work from home. And now you work with Om. No home. So everything comes to an end there. Because karma will go. So many people are asking this practical problem. They say, you can offer your karma to Bhagavan. Like Vaidika karma, you can offer and remain pure. But how to do this very complex karma that we have to do in our workaday life? Many are asking this question. That is why Krishna taught this teaching in the war field. Whatever IT company, it is not like Arjuna's work. It is not like fighting in a war. Even in a war, Krishna says you can remain in yoga sthiti. And whatever may be your field of action, you surrender to me and just go and fight. Because there is no other go. So if you have to fight, you go and fight. Kayena vacha manasendriyairva buddhyatmana va anusrita swabhavat karoti yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayet tat. Very well known shloka. Some minor differences are there. We say samarpayami, prakritehe swabhavat. But the Moola shloka is this. Bhagavatam says, Karoti yadyat, whatever you may be doing with your body, with your mind, with your intellect, with your ego, when you have to do it in prarabdha field, where you cannot take your meditation, what should I do? There Bhagavan says, you just with closed eyes run. Closed eyes means without thinking about right, wrong, this or that. Just go. Let the prarabdha finish. You just go and do, but surrender to me. Just inwardly tell Bhagavan, it is all yours. I don't exist. Naham tvam. I do not exist, only you exist. This body belongs to you, this mind belongs to you. You know, in a certain stage of sadhana, you can only do that. Many might have come across such a stage where you cannot do anything. The body has to work, the mind will work, some trouble comes. The only thing that you can do is that period of prarabdha has to be got over. So in that time, what can I do? Very often, now and then, come to Bhagavan and say, Bhagavan, this belongs to you. Yadyat karma karomi tattad akhilam shambho tava aradhanam. It is not that, Shambhu, I am doing your aradhanam. Whatever I am doing, you take it as aradhanam. Whatever I am eating, let it be your nivedyam. When I sleep, that is samadhi. Japo jalpa shilpam sakalamapi mudra virachana Gatih pradakshinya kramanam ashanadhyahuti vidhi pranamas samvesha sukhamakilam atmarpanadrisha saparya paryayastava bhavatu yanme vilasitam. Whatever I am doing, let it become saparya. Let it become worship to you, O Divine Mother. Saparya paryayaha tava bhavatu. Let it be synonymous with worship. Because I am not offering any flower or anything. Sometimes, there is a secret in the field of work. Arjuna wanted to get the blessing of Parameshwara for Pashupatastra. So he was doing puja. Kept a Shivalingam and started doing Archana, Abhishekam, Archana, everything. And Shiva did not come. Then he started chanting Panchaksharam, Pranayama, Yoga, everything. Shiva did not come. Then he was standing in one leg chanting Panchakshara. Shiva did not come. Then he was praying, Bhagwan, 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 why you did not come? Parvati said, Oh Mahadeva, this child is struggling so much to see you. Why can't you go and bless him? Shiva said, what to do, Bhavani? The only way a jiva can have contact with me is that he should be fully present. Because physical darshana is not enough. If he has to contact me, he should be fully present. Arjuna is not even 10% present here. He is doing Rudra Japam. He is doing, he is yawning. கொட்டாவி விட்டுருக்கான் ஜபத்துக்கு நடுவில். He is doing abhishekam. Everything he is doing mechanical. He is not present. His full person, major portion of his personality is sleeping. But you should somehow come him alive and contact you, O Lord. Then Bhagavan said, okay, the only way I can invoke full Arjuna is by challenging him for a fight. Otherwise he will not wake up. So then Kirata Arjuniyam, then Lord came as Kirata. And had a fight with Arjuna. And he was making fun of Arjuna. The only thing that Arjuna cannot bear is somebody telling him you do not even know how to hold a bow. Shiva said that. Till then, Arjuna was keeping very calm. I am doing tapas, I should not get angry. All these things were there. But Shiva said, your bow, it is a very powerless bow. See, Arjuna has taken an oath that whoever insults his Gandiva, I will fight with him. If possible, I will kill him. So when this Kirata insulted his bow, he woke up. See, this is a great secret you have to find. So full Arjuna woke up and started fighting with Ishvara, with arrow, with bow. Everything failed. Then he took his bow and with that was hitting Shiva. And they were fighting with hand and leg and rolling in mud. And at last, Arjuna found that this person is not an ordinary person. Nobody can stand before me like this. I, Arjuna, who is the greatest Gandhivadhari, Dhanurdhari, I became powerless before him. Who is he? Then he found whatever Mallika Pushpa that he has offered on that Shivalinga was there in the jata of this Kirata. That is Mallika Arjuna Mahalingam Shivalingitam. So that is Mallika Arjuna. So then he saw Lord there and said, "Oh, Bhagavan, why did you do this?" Bhagavan said, "This is the only way I can enter you. What do you want? You want Pashupatastra. You don't want Pashupatastra. I have already given you Pashupatam. Because when you were fighting with me, I entered into your very being." It's a powerful yoga where Ishvara completely filled Arjuna with his presence. So you should somehow have contact with Bhagavan very deeply. Sometimes it can happen only when you are in your work field, you have problems, you have tension, everything. Then you catch hold of Bhagavan, Krishna, 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 you call, then it becomes real. Vishamayatmajat Vishwato Bhayat Rishabhate Vayam Rakshita Muhu. As Gopika says, that in so many problems we cried, "Oh Krishna," then you came. See, the mind has to get connected to the divine, and only when that connection happens, something spiritual can happen, and that is possible when whatever you do with the body, whatever you think with the mind, whatever your intellect thinks, karoti yadyat, whatever is done is offered to him. Your full personality is offered to Bhagavan, then real purity comes. This is actually Karma Yoga. People think Karma Yoga means do action and don't seek result. That a grinder is also doing. Every day you put all rice in it, it grinds and gives you mavu. You make dosha. Not a single dosha you offer to grinder. So this is our grinder, our fridge, our mixie. All these machines, they are all karma yogis. That is why Bhagavan Ramana said, "Karma kim param karmata jadam Ishwararpitam Nechayakritam Chitta Shodhakam Mukti Sadhakam." Only when you offer your karma to Ishvara, when karma is transformed as bhakti, then it becomes yoga. Otherwise there is no yoga there. Swakarmana tam abhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. When your karma becomes puja, whatever may be your karma, you can make it puja. Yad yad karma karomi. Whatever may be the action, you offer it kayena, vacha. You are cooking in the kitchen. Formerly many housewives, they used to keep their puja in kitchen. This side they will do puja, that side they will do cooking. And whatever they cook, they will first offer to Bhagavan here. Kitchen is where you can have kicha. Tamil very affectionately people call Krishna as kicha or kitchen. So kitchen you can find in kitchen. You can keep Krishna in kitchen and worship. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi spent maximum time in kitchen. On one side this sambar will be boiling, on other side some vegetable will be boiling, this side rice will be very hot. And there are those old women cooks, they were be cooking, and one day that Shantama Pati was there, she told such a grand satsanga happened. Amidst all these things we somehow asked about something to Bhagavan, Vedanta Vishaya, and Bhagavan was just churning something and he just put it there and spoke something. Bhagavan told something about the knowledge of the self. And Shantama Pati said, just put the karandi inside the vessel and sat in samadhi. Myself on one side, Sampurna Pati and many others, they were all sitting around in samadhi. It was not Dakshinamurti, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana and Sanat Kumara. One great sage sitting in kitchen and around him some old women sitting in samadhi. That is why he said, Aye Adisulabham Atma Vidya. Wherever you are, you can have this divine experience. If you cannot go to Bhagavan, bring Bhagavan wherever you are. I have seen this happening in Mumbai, in this electric train, passenger train. They will be going to Kalyan from the other somewhere. And all Vishnu Sahasranamam, Japam, Puja, everything will be happening inside the train. Vegetable cutting, Nama Japa, Nama Sankirtana, reading Bhagavatam, everything inside the train. It will take about 2 hours. They will go. One day I was going from Thana to Dombivli. This is long back. And in train we will go and do pravachanam and return back in night. I found one mama with all bhasma, everything, and standing and doing Sandhya Vandanam, doing pranayama, and his hand was around someone's neck, here like this. Really? Even in that crowd, he did not forget to do it. Such a packed crowd. There also they do japam, they do everything. So, if you have solitude, ekanta, you are really fortunate. For a yogi, for a sannyasi, that is recommended. Better stay in ekanta. But when you have your dharma, when you have to do karma, then wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, do it and bring Bhagavan there. And whatever you may be doing, offer it to Bhagavan. And then your entire life will become bhakti. Narayanaya iti samarpayet. See, Ashtakshari comes here, Narayanaya. That mantra becomes meaningful when you Narayanaya iti samarpayami. Na mama. It is not mine, it is all Narayana's. Family is Narayana's, money is Narayana's, body is Narayana's. Everything belongs to Narayana, nothing belongs to me. Oh Bhagavan, it is all yours. Even I do not belong to myself. I also belong to you. If you can constantly tell this, this is Bhakti Yogam. Whenever some problem comes which you cannot solve, just tell this, Bhagavan, I belong to you. Offer yourself to Him. In whatever form you are, offer. Don't try to repair and give. Let Him repair. In whatever form you offer yourself to Bhagavan, and said, Bhagavan, now this belongs to you. And if you can tell it from your heart with tears, that is bhakti. And when you offer yourself, you also will cease to exist. Jiva bhava will disappear. Then what will exist? Only He will exist. Bhagavan alone exists. When the duality is gone, fear also disappears. Now, this Yogeshwara comes to Upanishadic statement. He says, the Upanishad says, Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati. From the second there is fear. If anything exists other than Bhagavan, there is fear. Fortunately, nothing exists. Whatever you fear, it is only He who comes in that form. Oh, life romba goram. That is also Bhagavan. Aghorebhyo thagorebhyo ghora ghoratarebhya. Sri Rudram says, Namaskaram to that Rudra, that Ishvara who is Aghora. Aghora means Shanta. That which is not Gora. Aghora is Shanta. So to that Shanta, Shankara, I am doing my offering. And Ghorebhyaha, something Ghora, terrible, terrific is happening in life. That is also Bhagavan, you. When Krishna was giving the vision of Vishwarupa, Arjuna asked, who are you, Lord? This terrible form. Akyahi me ko bhavan ugra rupo namostute devavara prasida vijñātum iccāmi bhavantamadyam nahi prajanami tava pravrittim. Sometimes we also ask, some incident happened in our life which we can never reconcile. Then we ask Bhagavan, what is this? What is this terrible form? Who are you? Then Bhagavan says, Kalosmi, I am the Kala. And if you want to be free, remove all that is the other. Bhayam dvitiya viniveshata syad Ishad abetasya viparyayo smritihi Tanmayayato buddha abhajetam Bhakti gaisham guru devatatma. The Upanishad says, from the second fear comes. Bhattadri said, it is all okay. Bhītinnām advitiyāt bhavati nanu manah kalpitam chadvitiyam tenaikyabhyasa shīlo hridayamiha yatha shakti buddhya nirundhyam maya vidhetu tasmin punarapina tatha bhati mayadhinatham tantvam bhaktya mahatya Satatam anubhajan neva bhidim vijahyam. Bhidirnam advitiyat bhavati. Fear certainly comes from the dvitiya, from the other. From one's own self, no fear. Something is moving there in the darkness, in partial light. Who is there? No answer. Afraid. Who is that? Go and look. Oh, it is only my shadow. Or some reflection of my own body. No fear. Oh, it is only my own reflection. No fear. The moment you see your own self, fear goes away. When you think someone is there, the other is always fear. Somebody is sitting in the train. afraid because unknown stranger. And he asked, "Engendu variyadu?" "Oh, Tamil." "Konja pakkathula po." "Endha ooru?" "Tiruvannamala." "Tiruvannamalaயா? Tiruvannamala enga?" Fear gone. The more he comes near, fear is gone. And relationship comes, fear gone. And fear can be completely rooted out when you know he is me. Atmaiva. Then no fear. It is right. Bhattadri says, but Guru Ayurappa, this intellect, whatever, however I may convince, it again and again goes out. Yathashakti buddhya nirundyam maya vidhetu tasmin punarapina tathabhati mayadhinatam. Oh Bhagavan, I will better surrender to you, hold on to your feet. Whenever I am afraid, I will cry like a baby. You have to remove the fear from me. I will hold on to you. Ramakrishna used to say, the strength of a bhakta is his tears. He is holding on to Bhagavan, and then that is his way. So, abhajet tam, buddhaha abhajet tam bhaktya isham. How should one worship Bhagavan? Actually, this verse is, there is no shortcut. If you have to be fearless, you have to have jnanam. But I do not have jnanam. What should I do? Then you, with bhakti, you approach a guru and serve him, considering him as Bhagavan, and listen to him, this highest teaching, Brahma Vidya. When true knowledge comes, fear will go. Guru Devatatma. For a sadhaka, Guru is his Devata. Or sometimes Devata becomes Guru. Many Shiva devotees, Shiva was their Guru. All this Nayanmar, all of them, they got Diksha directly from Shiva. So sometimes Devata becomes Guru. For Meera, Krishna was her Guru. When she got that Krishna, she surrendered to that idol. Krishna was her Guru. So sometimes Ishtadevata, Guru, all becomes one. Sometimes Guru himself becomes your Ishtadevata. Here Bhagavatam says, if you want to remove ajnana from you, you should have Guru Devata Bhava. And at last, Guru Devata becomes your Atma. Ishvaro Guruhu Atmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. One principle shines forth as Ishvara, as Guru, and as Atma. Once you have the knowledge of the Atma, Ishtadevata also merges there, Guru also merges there. Then no more outer Guru, no more outer Bhagavan. It is all like rivers merging in the ocean. Guru also merge in the self, Ishvara also merge in the self. Everything becomes one with the inner being. Once that knowledge comes, fear is removed, because nothing exists away from the self. If anything exists, that will create fear. That will create udvega. Every sadhaka will at last understand this principle. Something is there out, some udvega, some agitation will be there. Bhagavan is somewhere, You have to go and see there. You have to go and see in Ayodhya now. And they say 10 lakhs people are coming. And how to go there? And with so much trouble, even if I go there, will I be able to see him there? All these things are there because I have to go, so much effort is there. That effort is, of course, that is also a puja, that is also a worship. But at last, you find that Bhagavan has come to you in your heart, in your Anubhuti Mandala. Then he himself becomes your Guru, he himself becomes your Ishtadevata, he himself becomes your Atma, Antaryami. In that bhava, if you do bhakti, then the bhaya is removed. Because the fear is based on the non-existing duality. Avidyamanopi avabhatihi dvayo dhyaturdhiya swapana manorathau yatam tat karma sankalpa vikalpagam manahana budho nirundhyad abhayam tatasyat. Very profound verse. Avidyamanopi avabhatihi dvayaha. Even though it is unreal, this duality seemed to exist. Avidyamana means unreal, not existing. But avabhati, it is seen. Not only outside, inside also, the first duality is this I thought. In dream also one I comes, and that I experiences many things. After waking, will you consider it? Why don't you consider it? Because you are considering what is happening inside you now. It is also dream only. The body is sitting here inwardly. I go there, I contact somebody, speaks with someone. All these things. Why should you consider it real? Manoratha. And who is traveling in that Manoratha? One I is there, Iyer. And the Iyer inga poi anga poi adu padi edu pandra. Avidyamana, it is not real. See, when Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said, ask who am I? He wanted you to ask about this I, this Chidabhasa. When you ask who is this I, what is this I, you find that this I is a bluff, it is not real. The moment you question, this I disappears, this I vanishes, and what remains is only that non-dual truth, Satchidananda. And where does this I, this self-image comes? Dhyaturdhya swapana manorathau yata. In swapana and manoratha, in imagination and dream, this image comes and dances inside. It is not real. And if you want to be free, tad manaha nirundhyat. That mind which is creating so much sankalpa, you quieten that mind, put that mind to stillness. Then you will be absolutely fearless. Nirundhyad abhayam tadasyad. Then you will attain abhayam, fearlessness. Then the devotee says, should I practice yoga sadhana? How should I quieten the mind? Because the mind is not giving me a hold. It is scattered. Yes. First, have the bhakti sadhana. Slowly turn the mind towards hearing the stories of Bhagavan. listening to kirtanas on Bhagavan. Don't directly take it to the subtle realm. The first step is Kriya Kalapa Bhakti, Bhajana Bhakti. Shrinvan Subhadrani Rathangapane Janmani Karmani Chayani Loke Gitani Namani Tadarthakani Gayan Vilajjo Vichared Asanga. Very beautiful. It says Vichared Asanga. Unattached, detached, you just move about in this world, constantly singing the glories of the Lord. Shrinvan, whenever you get chance, sit in some satsanga, listen to Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or any Bhagavad Katha. Subhadrani, that is Bhadram. Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha. So listening to the most auspicious, listening to Bhagavad Katha is one way of lifting the mind from the world, keeping the mind in a higher plane. That is why in Bhagavatam you find great sages also telling Suta, please speak to us about Bhagavan. That is, Bhagavatam means not only Bhagavan stories of devotees also. So speak about Bhakta Katha. Because Bhakta Katha you can easily identify how they did sadhana, how they did bhakti, how Bhagavan appeared to them. When you listen to all these things, your mind becomes crystal clear. Through the ears, when you see the Murti of Bhagavan in the temple, your eyes are purified. When you listen to Bhagavatam, your ears are purified. Through the eyes and through the ears, the form and name enters and the mind is purified. Pitva Netraihi Shrotraischa Pitva Paramarasa Sukhambodhi Pure Rameran. By drinking through the eyes and through the ears, one just merges in that Paramarasa Sukhambodhi, in that Paramarasa Sukha Samudra. So through the eyes also you see Bhagavad Archavatara Murti. You have to train your senses in Bhakti Marga. With the eyes you see Bhagavan. Moment morning you wake up, you see Bhagavat, some photo or something which elevates you. Not keep it here, take it and look at it. Pratah Kale Samsara Smaranam Pratah Smarami. Pratasmarami Samsriti Bandarashim. You open, all samsara comes. Night also, all these Bhagavatas are doing, we are also doing. Night also do it and sleep. Morning wake up and sleep. At least now Bhagavan, if he has to rescue us, next avatara he has to come in the form of a mobile. Then only we will all. Open the mobile, Krishna comes out of it. I don't know. So, Shrinvan, listening to Bhagavad Katha. Don't consider this as a very lower sadhana or anything. It is a very powerful sadhana. What you are doing now is a very powerful sadhana. Very light but very intensely powerful. And thinking about the janma and karma of Bhagavan, who has no janma, no karma. You think about his janma, his karma, so that you will forget your janma and your karma. This Chidabhasa is constantly telling, I was born on such and such a date. I worked in this office, this, that. All these things it is remembering. It is a great kathakara. Constantly telling katha inside about my own katha. Two people speaking, you just observe. One person will speak about his katha, the other person will wait till he stops to tell his katha. Nobody will listen. Who is interested in your katha? So this katha, this mind storytelling, born, doing action, birth, everything, there you bring in Bhagavad Katha, and when the mind has started contemplating on Bhagavad Katha, that is a great shift. Otherwise, whatever, however you may sit here and listen Bhagavatam, the moment you start going out, the next thought will be, what should I do in the night? Tomorrow's problem. Everything rushes inside your mind. Instead of that, if you are recollecting this, what you have heard here, if your mind is thinking about Bhagavan, then the flow has started. Shankaracharya says, Dhikulya saranishu patanti vijayata. Dishanti samsara brahmana paritapa upashamanam vasanti macheto hradabhuvi shivananda lahari. First line, Galandi Shambhotva Charida Saridaha. The river of Bhagavad Katha is flowing. Kilbisharajo Dalanti. It removes all the dust of ignorance in the intellect. And first you listen, it goes out. It will not enter and start flowing inside. But by constant listening and absorbing it, this river of Bhagavad Katha or Bhagavad Dhyana or Bhagavad Anusandhana start making canals, channels inside the brain. It starts flowing in the intellect, in the mind. Dhikulya saranishu patanti vijayatam. Then your sadhana has started bearing fruit. Because meditation has started happening. You are not putting effort to do manana, but manana happens. Dhikulya saranishu patanti vijayatam. And when the mind is no more thinking about family or about my own life or about another person's life, but is thinking about Bhagavan, 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 that is vijayatam, that is success in spiritual life. Vasanti machedo hridabhuvi. In the heart lake, all this water, meditative water gets collected, and that is Anandalahari. So you have to do an agriculture inside. Put the seed of Bhakti, pour water there, fence it with sadhana, tapas. And at last you will have the fruit of jnanam, samvit phalabhyunnatihi. Shankaracharya has given all this in Shivananda Lahari, where he says, you have to do bhakti krishi. So much nobody has spoken about bhakti. All other sampradayas are there. But what Bhagavad-pada has done, so many shlokas, so much bhakti, whether it is on Krishna or Vishnu or Shiva or Devi, everywhere. So much of bhakti is given. So when the mind starts contemplating on Bhagavan, singing about Bhagavan, Gita Ninamani. See, Gita is one form of powerful meditation. Song, singing. People ask, what is the difference between Tyagaraja Kirtana and film song? Bhagavata says, Gramya Gitam Nashrunuyat. Don't listen to songs that will instigate you, that will create wrong or worldly vibrations inside you. I am not talking about everybody. Those who want to do spiritual sadhana, those who have taken spiritual life seriously, bhakti sadhana seriously, for them. Gramya Gitam na shrunuyat. It is pop music. We don't want that, we want punya music. Not pop music. So any song that elevates you to spiritual plane, reminds you about Bhagavad Katha, that Bhagavatam is also a song, Gita is also a song, Gitani, Namani, names of Bhagavan, Tadarthakani, Gayan, you practice chanting them. Unnamam Payindren, Trinavakara Swami says in one of the Devaram, he says, from my childhood I was practicing your name. Unnamam Payindren. Karuvai Kidandu Un Kajale Ninaikum Karuttudayen. Uruvaai Tirindu Un Namam Payindren. He says, even as an embryo, as the fetus, I was surrendered to you. Who can say with so much confidence? He says, even as a fetus, I was surrendered to you. And the moment I was born as a human being, the body, mind, I started practicing your nama. Tiruvai Polindu Shivayanamayana Tiruniraninden Taruvai Shivagati. I was wearing the bhasma by chanting your nama and practicing your nama every step. And now, see, without constant practice, nothing spiritual will happen. You have to put great effort there, because this effort is all wasted in worldly life. So to turn it towards Bhagavan, people will ask, to attain jnanam you don't need effort. Yes, it is effortlessness, but effort is an energy which is constantly moving towards the world. Turn it towards Bhagavan means turn it towards remaining quiet. For that you have to put effort to attain that effortlessness. Tremendous effort is needed. Unnamam Payindren, Gayan, Gitani, Namani, Tadarthakani. You should not be ashamed to chant his nama. One Nambutri, very simple, innocent Brahmana, He once told, he was coming to Palakkad to see me from some 75 kilometers away. So he said, on the way in the bus, one Muslim priest, Mullah, was sitting near me chanting La ilaha illallah, was constantly chanting Nama. Then I felt very bad. I am not chanting, he is doing Namasmarana. So he said, I also started chanting Narayana, 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 Narayana. After some minutes, this Mullah started chanting Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Because his ears. Vilajjo, don't be ashamed to chant that. Gayan vilajjo vichare dasangaha, without attachment, in a detached way, you just move about in this world. This bhakti sadhana should be your vrata. Evam vratasva priyanama kirtya jata anurago druta chitta buchchaihi hasatyato roditi rauti gayati unmadavan nrityati lokabhya kamvayumagnim salilam mahim cha jyotim shisatvani dishodrumadinu Sarit samudram shahareh shariram yatkinja bhutam pranamed ananyaha ityachudang bhakti pareshanubhavo viraktihi anyatra jaishatrikaye kakalaha prabadyamanasya yathashdatasyuhu tushtih pushtih chudabayo nughasam Ityachudangrim bhajatonu vrityam bhaktir viraktir bhagavat prabodha bhavanti vai bhagavatasya rajan tatah param shantim upaiti sakshat. See how it concludes? Param shantim upaiti sakshat. This is the highest point of bhakti where all this bhava, lahari enters into the ocean of parashanti, the nirvanakya parashanti. Param shanti mubaiti sakshad. The bhakta, when Bhagavan Nama enters his mind, it starts operating in his mind. A current is created inside. He is constantly holding a current, a srotas inside him. And that current starts working in his nadi, everywhere, in the nerves, in the nerve centers, in the cells, everywhere, then all these things are activated. It starts laughing, it starts crying, it starts dancing. Hasatyato, roditi, rauti, gayati. Sometimes sings aloud. Unmadavarad, like a madman. Nrityati lokabhyaha. He becomes mad. People consider him sometimes mad. In that kind of bhakti rasa, he looks at the world and he finds that the entire existence is divine. The Akasha is Vishnu, Bhumi is Vishnu, wind is Vishnu, fire is Vishnu. And the one who looks at the world is also Vishnu. Jale Vishnu, Stale Vishnu, Vishnu Akasham Uchyate, Stavaram Jangamam Vishnu, Sarvam Vishnumayam Jagat. Sarit, Samudramsha, the river, the ocean, everything is body of Hari. And that very look is pranama, ananyaha pranamet, no anya bhava. Then bhakti comes, vairagya happens, and jnanam also comes. Bhakti pareshanubhavaha virakti. And at last, great profound peace, shanti. The whole dance of emotions, tidal waves of bhava, everything settles down in the heart as pure Shanti as peace, and Sakshat directly is experiencing the Atman, yes, Sakshat, Aparokshat, Brahman. Sarvanubhuhu. And he looks at the world and beholds the world as Narayana. His own inner one is Narayana, and whatever he looks outside, it is also Narayana. And such a Bhakta is Bhagavatottama. He is the highest devotee. Sarvabhuteshu yah pashyet Bhagavat bhavam atmana Bhutani Bhagavati Atmani Esha Bhagavatottama. Eshaha Bhagavatottama. Such a one is the supreme devotee. He is a jnani. Even though he is looking at the world, nothing affects him. Such a one is a great bhakta. About him, the next Yogeshwara, Hari, is speaking. From that portion, we will see this Bhagavatam. We will continue sometimes in the future. From this portion, we will continue this Ekadasha Skanda. Till then, you have one work to do, that is to do contemplation of whatever you have heard. Hold on to his Nama and keep Bhagavan in your mind. Reflect on this Bhakti Grantha. Shruto Anupatito Dhyataha. Shravana you have done. Now Anupatana you have to do, and Dhyana you have to do. Shravana, Patana, Dhyana. And with great reverence, lead this spiritual life. And that will purify. Wherever you stay, that will become temple. Your entire life will be a celebration. Nityotsavam bhavatyesham. Nityashrihi. Nityamangalam. Yesham hridisto bhagavan. Mangalayatano hari. So with this, we will offer this 3 days Bhagavatam, 3 sessions of Bhagavatam at the feet of Bhagavan. Tomorrow also we have a Satsang, not here, in Shankaramat, Shamarajpet Shankaramat, morning 10 o'clock. Expect to see you all there Sunday. So that is, we will see tomorrow. Today here we are concluding this Bhagavatam with great bhakti. The devotee Rajan and his family has arranged this Satsanga. Rajan Mama and his family, they are all so devoted. With so much selflessly they have arranged for this. This is the second time that they are doing it in these few months. And so many devotees are benefited because one devotee asked for this. So that is a great bhakti sadhana for their family also. And whoever were associated with them, many devotees were helping and serving along with him. All of them I do not know. But he told that many are there to assist, and with that this Bhagavata Satsanga, today we are offering it at Bhagavan's feet. This is the flower that we can offer. Satyam Jnanamanantam Nityamanakasham Paramakasham Goshtha Prangana Ringana Lolamanayasam Paramayasam Maya Kalpita Nanakaram Anakaram Bhuvanakaram क्ष्मामानाथमनाथं प्रणमत गोविन्दं परमानन्दं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं भज गोविन्दं परमानन्दं भज गोविन्दं परमानन्दं गोपालं भूलीला विग्रह गोपालं कुलगोपालं गोपीखेलन गोवर्धन धृत लीलालालित गोपालं गोभिन्निगदित गोविन्दस्फुट नामानं बहुनामानं गोधीगोचरदूरं प्रणमत गोविन्दं परमानन्दं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं भज गोविन्दं परमानन्दं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं भज गोविन्दं परमानन्दम् यतो ममात्मा भवसि त्वमेव ततो न वाच्यं मम किञ्चिदस्ति यथा तवेष्टं कुरु मम तथैव त्वाम् आत्मनाथं रमणं भजामि।